Tyler, get to the principal's office right now. No, miss, please, I'm sorry. I won't mess around anymore, I said. I couldn't get detention again. My dad would kill me. I was always getting into trouble at school. It wasn't my fault. All the teachers picked on me, especially Miss Jenkins. They said I was a troublemaker and I disrupted all their lessons, but it wasn't true. Half the time, it was my friends messing around, but it always seemed to be me that got caught. I pleaded with her not to give me detention, but she wouldn't back down. I had no choice but to go to see Principal Matthews. Of all my rotten luck, Allison, the most popular girl in school, was having a huge party this weekend, and I had been invited. If my dad found out that I had got into trouble again, there was no way he would let me go. I couldn't let Dad know I had detention again, so I sent Mom a text telling her that I was staying after school for some extra soccer practice. That would explain why I was late home. I finished my detention and ran straight home. Dad was sitting in the room when I got there. "Tyler, come in here," he said. "How was your soccer practice?" "Yeah, it was good," I said. "Right, you're grounded." "What? Why?" "I know you were in detention again. I got an email from the principal telling me." "But it's Allison's party." "Too bad." But before I go on, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any more crazy stories. The morning after Allison's party, I opened my phone and looked at all the photos that my friends had posted online. It looked like it had been so much fun. I couldn't believe that I had missed out on such a good party. I was so annoyed with my dad for grounding me. All I could think about was getting some kind of revenge on my dad, but I had no idea what I could do. I was scrolling through all the photos when suddenly an ad popped up. Usually I just skip the ads, but something caught my eye. "Do you want to brainwash someone?" it said. I clicked on the link. The more I read, the more I realized that this was the perfect answer. In only a few lessons, I could learn how to hypnotize my dad. Then I could control him and make him do everything I wanted. I clicked to make an order. It was quite expensive, but I didn't care. When the package arrived, it had everything that I needed to brainwash my dad. There was a booklet with instructions on how to hypnotize someone and a watch on a chain. I needed to get my dad on his own to do it. I couldn't risk Mom walking in and catching me. I didn't have to wait long for an opportunity. The following day, Mom said she was going out for lunch with her friends. "No problem," said Dad. "Tyler and I will just have the leftover chicken for our lunch." Dad put the plates on the table and we sat down. I got the watch out of my pocket and started waving it from side to side in front of Dad's face. Almost immediately, Dad seemed to go into some kind of trance. I couldn't believe it. I had managed to hypnotize him on the first try. I told him that he must do everything that I ordered him to do, that he should worship me and do whatever he could to make my life perfect. "Now, when I snap my fingers, you will wake up and you won't remember any of this," I told him. I clicked my fingers loudly. Dad came out of the trance and looked at me. "Come on, Tyler, eat your chicken." I decided now was the time to test if the hypnotism had worked. "Dad, go get me a glass of water," I said. My dad jumped up from his chair and went straight to the kitchen. A few minutes later, he came back holding a glass of water in his hand. "Here you go, Tyler." I wondered what else I could get him to do. "Dad, after lunch, you will need to do my homework for me." "Okay, just give it to me and I'll get it done for you." I couldn't believe it. This was perfect. I knew that my life was going to be so easy from then on. And it was. I didn't have to do anything. Even when Mom gave me some chores to do, I just waited until she was out of the room and I ordered my dad to do it. Sometimes I would get Dad to do things just for a laugh, like the time I had a few friends round to watch a movie. I told them I could get my dad to do anything I wanted, but they didn't believe me. "Okay, prove it," said my friend Jake. "Get your dad to crawl around the house pretending to be a dog and we'll believe you." My dad came into the lounge and I told him what I wanted him to do. He immediately got down on all fours, walking around, growling and barking like a dog. My friends were in hysterics. "Oh my God, that's the funniest thing we've ever seen," they said. Suddenly, I heard Mom opening the front door. "Okay, Dad, that's enough. You can stop now," I said. I couldn't risk my mom seeing him like that. If she found out I was able to control him, I would be in big trouble. I managed to keep it from her for a long time, until one night when we were sitting at the dining room table having dinner. I was telling something to Dad when my mom interrupted me. "Honey, let's go to," started Mom. "Hey," Dad shouted, "don't interrupt. Tyler was speaking." Mom looked at my dad in surprise. "It's fine," I said to Dad. I quickly changed the subject. I didn't want my mom to wonder why my dad was defending me so much, or she might become suspicious. I decided I should probably not ask Dad to do anything for me for a while. It seemed as though he was becoming a bit overprotective of me. So that evening, I sat down and did my history homework. It was the first time in months that I had had to do any work for myself. I rushed through it as quickly as I could and forwarded it to my teacher, Miss Jenkins. The next morning at school, I was walking through the school corridor when I heard my name being called. "Tyler, come here." It was Miss Jenkins. I wondered what she wanted with me. "Yes, miss," I said. "The homework you just handed in was terrible," she said. "You will have to do it again, and I'm also giving you an extra essay to write. It must be a minimum of 2,000 words, and I want it finished by tomorrow." I really hated her. She was always giving me extra work to do. I knew that the only reason she was always so mean and nasty was because she was still single. I really wanted to pay her back for always picking on me. That's when the idea popped into my head. I had the perfect plan. I would just get my dad to go on a date with her. I would tell him to take her somewhere nice for dinner, but to treat her really badly on the date. When I got home, I told my dad what I wanted him to do. "Okay, Tyler, anything for you, son," said Dad. "I just want to make you happy." My dad sent Miss Jenkins a text asking to take her out for dinner on Friday night. Mom was going out for dinner with her friend that night, so she would be out of the way. When my dad left to go to the restaurant, I waited for a few minutes and then followed him. I wanted to see Miss Jenkins' face when she got some of her own treatment. When I got to the restaurant, I hid at the back of the room. I could see my dad and Miss Jenkins sitting at a table together. Dad was saying something to her. I couldn't hear what he was saying, but from the look on Miss Jenkins' face, I could tell it was something mean. I was laughing to myself when suddenly my heart dropped. I couldn't believe it. My mom and her friend had just walked into the restaurant. I tried to get her attention so she didn't see Dad, but it was too late. As soon as my mom saw Dad and Miss Jenkins together, she started screaming. "How dare you cheat on me? You are going to regret this." Mom ran out of the restaurant crying. My dad jumped up. "Oh no," he shouted as he tried to stop Mom. But he wasn't quick enough. Mom was nowhere to be seen. I ran over to my dad. "Dad, this is terrible," I said. "I order you to—" But before I could finish my sentence, Dad screamed at me. "That's enough, Tyler." "Huh? You spoke back to me? How dare you?" I said. "Why aren't you doing as I say?" "Haven't you figured it out yet, Tyler? I've been faking this whole time." "What? So you mean you weren't brainwashed all along?" "No, of course I wasn't." You can't control someone just from reading a book and waving a watch in front of their eyes for a few minutes. So why did you play along with it? Why did you do everything I told you to do? Dad told me that he had just wanted to see how low I would stoop. He wanted to see how bad I would treat my own father if I was given the chance. "Now I realize you have got to change," said Dad. "Your behavior has gotten out of control." Then he said the worst thing you could possibly imagine. "We are going to send you to summer school, Tyler. They will need to teach you how to behave. There will be no school holidays for you this year." "No, Dad, please, not summer school," I begged. "I'll do anything you ask me to. Just please, don't send me away." "Can't you see what you've done? Because of you, my wife now thinks I'm cheating on her." "I'm sorry. I didn't mean it to go this far. I just got carried away with the power." "Well, now you're going to have to explain it all to your mom." "But how will I do that? Mom will be so mad." "Well, you had better figure out a way, or we are going to end up getting a divorce." I ran out of the restaurant and straight home. I had no idea what I was going to say to my mom, but I knew I needed to find her, quickly. I opened the front door. I was expecting to see my mom in the kitchen, but all I saw was a note on the kitchen table. I picked it up, my hands shaking as I read it. "I can't handle this," it said. "I'm divorcing your dad and leaving the country now. I'm sorry, Tyler. You will never see me again." I couldn't believe Mom had already gone. I knew that I had to get to the airport and stop her before she got on the plane. I grabbed my coat and I was just about to head out the front door when I heard a sound coming from the living room. There was definitely someone inside the house. I knew my dad was still at the restaurant and my mom had gone to the airport. My heart started beating madly. I realized that someone must have broken into our house. If they were burglars, I knew they would probably be armed. I would need something to defend myself. I looked around for a weapon, but all I could find was a broom. I picked it up and crept towards the living room. I knew that I had to stop them before they got away with any of our things. I opened the door screaming as loudly as I could, hoping to scare them off. But it wasn't burglars in there. It was my mom and dad. I looked at them in astonishment. They were sitting on the sofa together and laughing uncontrollably. "You can put the broom down," said Dad. "Hey, what's going on?" I asked them. "Oh, Tyler, you've been a very silly boy," said Mom. "I know what you've been doing to your dad." It turns out that Mom had known all along what I had been doing to my dad. He had even told her that he was taking Miss Jenkins on a pretend date. Mom had just been acting when she came to the restaurant and screamed at my dad. They had even told Miss Jenkins it wasn't a real date. She had agreed to help Mom and Dad as they all just wanted to teach me a lesson. After that, I was grounded for a month. This turn of events had shocked me to my core, but I guess I deserved it.